This is a season of many, many perspectives, and the widest view of inclusion is what we are working for here. I grew up in an interfaith family, so my preacher father took us to church on Sunday and took me to the Jewish Community Center on Fridays and Saturdays. So this time of year, you'll find a Christmas tree and stockings and a menorah, actually about six menorah, because I can't get enough of mixing and matching the traditions that are meaningful to me. I also realized that the complexity of holding the messiness of all of the many versions and perspectives in Christianity and the messiness of all of the versions of Judaism and all of the versions and perspectives of every other spiritual tradition at this time cannot be understated, right? That is one of the joys of being in an interfaith, interspiritual, and interspecies community is being able to hear a range of perspectives during the year. I love being somewhere that I get to hear Dina talk about her love for Jesus, and then Nancy gets to join us and light a menorah. I mean, we need more spaces like this. So, Nancy, welcome. Let me tell the folks a little bit about you, and then I'm going to get out of here and let you do your thing. So, as many of you know, we're in the season of Hanukkah as well. So, our closing blessing will be led by Nancy Cohen, who's one of our animal chaplains. Dr. Nancy Cohen is also a retired family physician who is trained as a cantor and has worked as a Hebrew school teacher. She can help me with some of that exegetical work that I do. My Hebrew is just it's just lacking, Nancy, but perhaps we'll talk about that as a New Year resolution. She sees that the season of Hanukkah as based about spreading light. She's very proud to be an animal chaplain, and based on the importance of giving a name, right? If we look at it in so many different traditions we have of these stepping out of Hanukkah for a second into naming ceremonies. Nancy did a beautiful naming ceremony that she developed as her project in the animal chaplaincy training program for animals based on the Jewish tradition, but then applicable to other religions and cultures. So, folks, if you are of Jewish heritage and faith, and you're interested in connecting more with Nancy, let her know in the chat, and maybe you all can connect. Nancy recently relocated from warm, sunny Southern California to Long Beach, New York. That explains the jacket. Both she and her chihuahua named Shoes and her two cats, Zach and Zoe, are trying to get used to the cold. Welcome, Nancy.
Thank you very much, Reverend Sarah.
Was that enough preamble for you?
Yeah, that was quite
Fair
a
enough. All right,
preamble.
Phil,
Thank
get
you.
me out of here and let Nancy do her thing.
Thank you. Well, welcome everybody to Hanukkah lighting at my home. I wish you all Chag Chanukah Sameach, a very happy um, Hanukkah holiday. I want to say a few words about this festival, which is really more historical than religious, but nonetheless, because it is considered a festival of life, has a great deal of spiritual significance. The story of the miracle of Hanukkah involves light. It was the miracle of the victory of the Jewish people, the tiny nation, against the great army of Antiochus Epiphanes, when the temple in Jerusalem had been defiled. But when Judah Maccabee and his army went back to the temple, they found one cruse of oil that had enough oil in it to light for one day. And the rabbis teach us that a miracle happened and it lasted for 8 days. Hence, we light 8 candles. That's one story. I can wax eloquent on other interpretations, but that's the popular story of the miracle of the light of Hanukkah. Um, Despite its historical significance, we nonetheless elevate the holiday, and we do it with additional prayers, particularly from the Psalms. Of course, we elevate it with food. Here's my chocolate, my Hanukkah gelt, and we do it with joy and games. Here's my dreidel. For those of you who don't know the dreidel, which is a top, a spinning top, has four Hebrew letters on it, Nun, Gimel, Hey, and Shin. Those stand for Nes Gadol Haya Sham. In Hebrew, in English, it means a great miracle happened there, referring to the miracle of the defeat of Antiochus. If you were in Israel, the dreidel would say, Nes Gadol Haya Po, a great miracle happened here, because obviously one would be in Israel. And of course, there's the joy of gift giving. We light candles according to a tradition from the newest to the oldest, though in good Jewish fashion, there's a discussion about which way is the right way. There were two very famous schools of rabbinic thought. One was from Rabbi Hillel, the other was from Rabbi Shammai. Rabbi Shammai said that you should light the 8 lights on the first day and decrease it by 1 candle each night. And that would symbolize the future because there would be incoming days. Rabbi Hillel, some of whose teaching I know you're familiar with, he is known for saying that which is hateful to you, do not do unto your fellow person. He's also famous for saying, if I am not for myself, who will be for me? If not now, when? Hillel's thought was that we should light 1 candle on the first day and then increase each day so that the number of lights corresponded to the days that had already been observed. It was also his thought that doing it that way elevated the lights to a higher number and therefore a higher degree of sanctity. And apropos of what Reverend Sarah said about tonight being the solstice, how much brighter it is when there are eight lights of Hanukkah. And the tradition is also that those lights be publicized in the sense that they are lit near a window. So though you can't see it in my house, I'm right in front of a very, very large window, which looks right out onto other lights and cars and far in the distance, the city lights of New York. So with that, we will light the lights of Hanukkah. We begin with a poem. I'll sit down so that I can be seen. We begin with a poem that goes like this. הנרות הללו אנו מדליקין, הנרות הללו אנו מדליקין, על הניסים ועל הנפלאות ועל התשועות ועל המלחמות שעשית לאבותינו, שעשית לאמותינו בימים ההם, בימים ההם, בימים ההם, בזמן הזה. And it means, Hanerot halalu, we praise these candles, like hallelujah. Hanerot halalu anu malikim, that we kindle. Al hanisim, for the miracles, vial haniflaot, and for the wonders, vial hamilchamot, and for the battles that you fought for us from that day and until this day. And so we recite 2 blessings tonight. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam asher kitshanu b'mitzvotav v'tzivanu lehadlik ner shel Chanukah. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam she'asa nisim la'avoteinu bayamim hahem v'hazman hazeh. We bless you, Adonai, our God, sovereign of the universe, who makes us holy with your commandments and commands us to light the lights of Hanukkah. And we bless you, Adonai, our God, ruler of the universe, who made miracles for our ancestors in that time until this time. And together we say, Amen. Happy Hanukkah, everybody.
Happy Hanukkah indeed, Nancy. Thank you so much. Look at that beautiful light. Folks, it's not lost on me that lights are lit in probably every tradition around this time. From solstice fires to Christmas lights to menorah. Whatever light is being lit near you, I hope that it shines bright. I hope that it lasts long. And I hope that it fuels the light inside of you. It's been so lovely having you here with us for Sunday service. Folks, as we carry that light inside of us, this is a tradition we have around here. Our closing prayer and blessing. I invite you to say this alongside me. May all creatures everywhere be happy and free. May the thoughts, words, and actions of our lives contribute to this happiness and to this freedom for all. And please add the closing word from whatever your spiritual, religious, philosophical, existential tradition might be that makes these words meaningful and seals them in. Tonight, I'm going to go with Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. Peace, peace, peace. Thank you for joining us for Sunday service.